Good morning, everyone, and welcome to No Pro Trading. My name is Jukebox Joel. Thank you for joining me this morning. It is the 31st of July, last day of the month, and we have seen some interesting price movement these last couple of days. With that being said, I'd like to start on the daily chart for SPY. So, this is a COVID low crash. Um, Ideally, if anyone's familiar with Elliott wave theory, wave a 1-2 setup. Um, will often react to a zero point 0.5 fib retracement, and if we measure that, we get a perfect reaction there. If we do the same again with this, what looks like either a 3 or 5 wave move up, regardless, that's another perfect reaction. So everyone that screams market crash, we can't scream market crash until we see certain levels hold, and that's just really the only point of me showing that. Until certain levels hold on the intraday chart, there is no bear market ensuing. So with that being said, let's just zoom in and begin our analysis of the stocks that we do follow daily on our Discord. So the 15-minute on SPY to start. Yesterday we saw some sideways movement up until 2 o'clock, and we saw flush into supports. There was a support region marked there in the Discord. It probably looks something like this, and we saw a dip here. It was at this moment that we realized we could be seeing a little bit more weakness. We saw a reaction to one of the resistance levels that I had plotted, and therefore the door was open for lower prices, heading into Fed interest rate decision. Definitely downside. However, right at the close, loss that took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles to produce was eaten up in 2. We haven't seen those prices again yet. Now, this morning, what I'll be following is the following support levels, from which, if we get a reaction here and bust through this apparent sell block now, we can absolutely be seeing higher prices more immediately. And even more short, immediate term support levels will be plotted as well. Moving on to the next stock, which isn't a stock at all, or at least this in itself isn't. It's Bitcoin. Bitcoin saw the same kind of action SPY did. It dropped into a support region I had plotted out. After already dropping into support region, a larger degree support. We didn't actually tap it though. Doesn't mean we have to. So I've plotted some support levels here, and we'll be watching this area for a bounce today if we get down here. If Bitcoin decides to push, then obviously as does the support level. Next up, we have PayPal. PayPal has finally seen some pullback. Um, it's actually getting pretty close to some longer term supports here. So we're going to want to be keeping an eye on these levels as it draws down. Until this low is lost, the door for higher prices is open. Until we lose 67.54. And even then, if we can hold 65.31, we can absolutely still see higher prices after that. In the short term, confirmation of further downside could come with reactions to these resistance levels. So if we get a push up and get a fail here at rejection here at 71.25, and then that would likely mean that we have further down to see into these levels. T-Mobile up next. T-Mobile has said that as long as we can respect these local lows, that maybe we should be looking for higher prices. However, we did get a reaction to immediate term resistances here, so I would like to see a break above that high. Furthermore, this last resistance level, and even more so, this sell block being broken. Once that happens, we can see the prices being back up in this area, where we'll have to evaluate to see if we can break this sell block as well. In the case that lows become broken, then we can assume we have at least one other leg down. If that's the case, we'd be looking for the 235 area to hold. So I'll put a little, I'll move this red line here. Alright, so we'll keep an eye on that. Google. Google had a nice couple days. We've now seen a pullback since this high, which happened in pre-market hours, and we've come down straight into supply to support. If we can hold this low here, then we should absolutely be seeing new local highs. Is that new all-time highs? Not quite, but it can certainly open the door too if we can break that area. We'll be watching Google today. It's definitely on the priority watch list for the day. Next up, we have AT&T. AT&T had a run up until the end of last week, and since the first push up, I had wanted to see it back at lower prices around this $27 region. Since that higher high produced on Friday, we've seen the drawback begin. So I'm actually looking still for lower prices. I'm going to draw a trend line here. From it's broken, we'll be able to, which suggests a rally is going to unfold. Where that rally will take us, we'll analyze as it goes. I'd like to note though that we've already seen reactions on the larger time frame support. When we drop down on Wednesday. Yeah, 27.11. I'm keeping an eye on that level. Next up, Supermarket Computers had a substantial week. But I definitely think it's pullback time now. So on the pullback, I'll be looking at this area for support. I'm looking a little closer. The first confirmation that we're going to start breaking down would be a loss of these levels. If we fail to catch support at these levels, then this immediate momentum can exhaust a little bit here. On the HIMS chart, HIMS I know ran up pretty hard as well, quite hard. We had seen some reactions to support levels here. I was under the impression they were going to end up failing. That never happened. Uh, yeah, I thought this was just the beginning of the dip, and I thought we would continue down a little further, but as we can see, that's not what happened. And we even see a 1-2, potentially 2, 3, 1-2 setups. Um, and we saw the breakout. And it's just about all-time highs almost, if I'm not mistaken. So, hymns we missed the train, but that'll happen when you're trading. The best thing to do is to manage your risk and to play probability into your favor. Silver, silver did give up some more. We have reacted to a larger degree support level. While it wasn't, while it's broken through the first couple, it did happen to hold that last one. If this last one fails as well, then we'll be looking for prices back in the $33 region, um, which everyone will be nervous about that. But in the long term, you can see we've been in a channel for some time, and we have a lot of room to the downside in that case. Intel, Intel dipping a little lower, still holding that local low so far. Let's see if we can avoid. Let's see if we can avoid printing a lower low here. If we can avoid printing a lower low and getting back up above this $20.50 area, then we can absolutely expect higher prices in the immediate term. Next up, LAC, lithium. Lithium supports gave way after this formation up top. If we measure this, so long as this low down here of 247 is holding, which so far it seems to be trying to, as well as this trend line that's more long term, then LAC could absolutely still see higher prices even above its recent highs. First confirmation would come with a break above the 290 level, and better yet the $3 level. Above $3 would suggest we may be en route to 4. Tesla, we definitely anticipated more movement in the aftermarket. So far, not so much. I've plotted the support region here, so we're going to see if we get a pullback now and dip us into this support. If that's the case, I'm looking for a quick smash to 315, and then maybe from there we can finally get this breakout that we've been looking for. on the larger time frames. I'm still bullish on Tesla until these support levels break, and even after that, if this whole pattern is becoming a triangle, then we should see a reaction to this level, which means 295.59 can be in play before getting up. Now, it doesn't have to get down here. There are other ways to count this where it avoids a triangle. Okay. So to avoid that happening, we need to be holding this more immediate support level. Speaking of that support level, yeah, perfect to 618. So we'll be watching Tesla with wide eyes today. Wide eyes. Misty had quite a dip, into support. I'd like to see where she starts to go structure and catches support before we start plotting anything on her, because she's already dipped a little further than we anticipated. On the 4-hour chart, she is still in support. However, I would like a pop back above 20 to confirm still even further upside above $23. We also have Webull. Webull has been stagnant since its run up. What was that, last week? We saw some downside after she hit 18. We're now in support and tracking more upside. So for upside to still be in play, we need to be holding the support area here and at least holding the trend line. And last but not least, Robinhood. Robinhood saw shoot up to 111 last night upon beating their earnings. However, from a technical standpoint, we have reacted to a resistance area. This leads me towards a little more downside before we get to pop back up, perhaps down to this longer term trend line, which could open the doors to $95, $97. All right, that's all for today. Make sure you guys are managing your risk, utilize the tools at your disposal. Don't feel safe in the market, and follow your confirmations. Everyone have a good trading day. Be safe.